Hi, this is Rika. Welcome to this class. This class is about opening our hips and hamstrings to maybe find our way into Compass Pose, Pavrita Surya Yantasana. We will start today's class in a butterfly pose, Baddha Kontasana. So bring the soles of your feet together, your knees falling outward, and then open your feet like a book so that the soles of your feet are towards the sky. Your hands you can take in a little Bhuya Mudra onto your knees or just palms facing upward, and then roll your shoulders back. Close your eyes or soften your gaze, and then take one or two breaths to find your way into your body. Feel into any sensation happening in your body. Maybe you want to breathe into the sensation, and with your exhale, try to release. Maybe you feel your hip flexors being a little stiff from sitting all day or just waking up. Try to really inhale into your hips, and then with your exhale, maybe you can bring your knees a little bit closer towards the mat underneath you. One more breath like this. Release your hands, release your mudra. Maybe you want to bring your hands into your heart center. Rub them together a little bit to create some heat in your hands. And then place them on top of your eyes. Open your eyes if you had them closed. And then remove your hands to your sides. You will stay in a seated position. Bring your right leg parallel to your mat, whether it's the long side or the short side. Your feet or your foot is flexed, and your left leg comes as well. Try to be parallel on top of your right. Also, your left foot is flexed, and then place your left hand onto your knee. Your right hand can stay on your left foot, and then just breathe into this pose. Maybe you want to slightly push your leg towards the mat, towards the ground, but try to be really gentle with your body, so don't push too hard here. One more breath like this. And then release your left leg and change your leg so that your left leg is underneath, your right leg is on top. Again, make sure your feet are both flexed. Your right hand comes on top of your right knee. Gently pushing it towards the mat underneath you. Your left hand can be on your right foot. Maybe there's some sensation happening in your hips, in your hip flexors, in your thighs. Just embrace it and maybe, like we did in the beginning, try to breathe into it. One more breath here. With your next inhale, release your legs and come all the way into tabletop position. Make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. Maybe you want to project your shoulders a little bit so you're rounding your back here. Your gaze is in between your hands or slightly in front of your hands. And then engage your core. Be really strong in this tabletop position. With your next inhale, guide your left leg towards the back of your mat. So extend your leg. Inhale, lift it up and bring it all the way towards the left side. Exhale here. Inhale, come back straight, extended towards the back of your mat. Exhale here. Inhale, come to the side. Inhale back towards the back of the mat. Really engaging your core, so don't try to move too much with your hips. Inhale to the side. Exhale here. And inhale, extend to the back. Inhale, lift one more time, and this time come all the way to the front of your mat. Step to the side of your left hand. Bring your right hand into the center of your mat and then bend your back knee. Reach your left arm to your right foot. You can either stay here, pulling your foot slightly towards your buttocks, or you can do it the other way around and pull your hand with your foot and open your chest a little bit wider. Whatever you prefer here right now, that's totally fine. One more breath here. And with your next exhale, release your leg, release your hand towards the front, tuck your back toes under, lift your knee, and then walk your hands slightly over your mat towards the front into lizard pose, Uttanapishtasana. And really take some deep breaths here. Feel the opening of your hips. Now with your next inhale, walk your hands back into center, underneath your shoulders. Open up towards the right side into side lunge, Skandasana. Your hands can come into prayer position. Take a breath here. And with your next inhale, place your hands underneath your shoulders on the mat in front of you. Lift your hips up. Maybe you want to step a little bit closer with both legs into wide-legged forward fold. Your peace fingers can come around your big toes and then come all the way into a deep forward fold, really bending through your hip if you want, you can take your hands also on your ankles or on the mat underneath you, whatever is available for you right now. One more breath here. Bring your hands onto your hips and come up with a straight back all the way into standing. Then rotate your feet towards the back of your mat. Don't be scared here, just follow my voice, my guidance, and you will find your way back to the front of the mat. You can step a little bit closer with your back foot if you want. Your back foot is in 45-degree angle, and then bring your hands into prayer, hands behind your back. Take one breath here, really feel your arms, feel your legs strong, feel your core strong. And exhale, fold over your right thigh. You can look towards your right big toe. And with your next inhale, bring some weight into your front foot, so into your right foot. And then step with your left foot towards the front or the back of your mat. Your toes can come onto the mat, your heel onto your ankle. So your left toes onto the mat, your left heel onto your right ankle. You can either stay here or you can come onto your shin with your foot, or if you want to do the full tree pose, then bring your left foot all the way onto your right thigh. You can help with your hand, but come back into prayer pose behind your back. If this is not challenging enough, then you can try to close your eyes here. And don't forget to breathe. One more breath here. With your next inhale, release your left leg so that your knee is pointing towards the front, and then guide your left foot all the way towards the back into Warrior 3. Your upper body lowers down parallel to the mat underneath you. You can keep your prayer hands on the back, or you can guide them to the front into heart center. With your next inhale, bend your front knee, step all the way back into high lunge. Your hands come underneath your shoulders, step back into high plank. Guide your knees onto the mat all the way into child's pose. Your buttocks comes onto your heels, your arms are extended towards the back of your mat. Take a quick little rest here. We will shortly do the other side. So with your next inhale, come back into tabletop position. This time towards the back of your mat. Again, feel your alignment, spread your fingers, project your shoulders, engage your core. With your next inhale, extend your right leg this time towards the front of your mat. Lift your leg up and inhale it all the way towards the right side or left side. Exhale here. Inhale to the front of your mat, but to the back of your body. Inhale to the side. Exhale here. Inhale to the back. Exhale here. Inhale to the side. Exhale here. Again, really strong core here. Inhale to the back. Exhale here. And then inhale, lift one more time through the side, all the way to the back of your mat, to right next to the outside of your right hand. With your next inhale, bend your back knee, bring your left hand into the center of your mat, and then extend your right hand to your left foot. And whatever you did on the other side, if you're pulling it towards your buttocks, do that. If you were opening your chest here, pulling your hand, then do this on that side as well. Inhale here. Exhale, release your hand, release your leg, and tuck your toes under, and walk your hand towards the back of your mat in front of you into lizard pose on this side, Uttanapishtasana. Really breathe into the opening of your hips. And with your next inhale, walk your hands underneath your shoulders and then rotate open towards the right side of your mat. So towards the left. Your hands come into prayer position, into side lunge, Skandasana. Inhale, hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up. You can walk your feet a little bit closer to each other. And again, come into a wide forward fold, either grabbing your big toes with your peace fingers or your ankles, or somewhere underneath your shoulders. With your next inhale, bring your hands onto your hips, and with a straight back, come all the way into standing. Rotate your feet towards the front of your mat. Your back foot is in 45-degree angle. Bring your hands into prayer pose. Engage your core, engage your legs, and take one aligning breath here. With your next inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold over your left thigh. Come only as far as it is comfortable for your hamstring. Look to your left big toe. And with your next inhale, bend your front knee. Step to the front with your right foot. Bring your right toes onto the mat, right next to your left, and your right heel onto your left ankle. You can stay here, or you come with your whole foot onto your left shin, or if you want to go a little bit higher, you can bring your right foot onto your left thigh into whole Rikasyoga tree pose. Again, if you want to have a little more challenge, you can close your eyes. If not, then find a drishti in front of you, a non-moving point. One more breath here. Inhale, release your right leg to the front and then guide it all the way towards the back of your mat. Bring your upper body parallel to your back foot and not parallel to your back foot, parallel to the mat underneath you in a straight line with your back foot. Your hands can stay in prayer pose behind you, or you bring them into heart center. Inhale, bend your knee, step all the way back into high lunge. Hands underneath you, step back into high plank. Lower your knees down onto the mat and bring your hips towards your heels into child's pose, Balasana. Take a few relaxing breaths here before we move in our last little sequence. With your next inhale, walk your hands towards your knees, come in an upright position, and then bring your feet to the front or your legs to the front, so you're sitting on your buttocks. From here, bring your left foot underneath your hips or underneath your right thigh. Your right leg, you can lift it up a little bit, flex your feet or foot, and then bring it into your elbow mold of the left arm. Your knee comes into your right elbow mold, and then you can hold your leg like a little baby, maybe rocking it from side to side, or if you want to draw some circles, you can do so as well. Maybe you want to then take your foot with your hand, and it's easier to draw some circles, but I recommend to do this rocking movements with your leg. One more breath like this. And with your next inhale, grab your right foot with both hands and extend your right leg all the way towards the sky. So straighten your right leg. Try to keep a straight back here while opening your hamstrings. And with your next exhalation, bend your knee back down, and then we will try to come into compass pose or a preparation pose of compass pose, whatever feels good for you today. So bring your right knee above your right shoulder. Your right hand comes on the outside of your mat and your left hand comes onto your flexed foot, or you can point your foot or do something in between, whatever is available for you. And then try to slowly extend your right leg all the way into compass pose if available, and look towards the left. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Exchange legs so that the right leg is underneath your left thigh. Your left leg can come into your elbow mold on each side. So knee in your left elbow mold and flexed foot in your right elbow mold. Again, do the rocking baby or some circles or whatever feels good for your hips right now. Slowly find stillness, and then with your next inhale, extend your left leg all the way towards the sky. Grab your foot with both hands. Try to keep a straight back here. One more breath here. Exhale, bend your knee, lower your leg down. We will do the compass pose on the other side. So bring your left knee over your left shoulder. Your left hand comes on the outside of the mat. Your right hand comes onto your left foot. And then you can either point or flex your foot and try to slowly extend your left leg here. Look towards the right side, maybe opening up your shoulder a little bit more. One more breath here. And then exhale, slowly bend your left leg, bring it back into center, and bring both legs in front of you, to the front of your mat. Lift your shins up into a boat pose. You can bring your hands towards the front as well. And then we will slowly lower ourselves down onto the mat underneath us. Slowly, as slowly as you can go, really engaging your core here. And when you find yourself on the mat, then you can bend your knees into your chest. Take 1 or 2 breaths here. And bring your legs mat width apart, so your feet mat width apart. You can still tickle your heels. Your knees are falling inward into the center of your body. Maybe you want to place your hands on top of your tummy or on top of your ribs. And take a few breaths here, just enjoying the closing of your hips after all the opening. Again, tune into your breath. Tune into any sensation happening in your body. And try to breathe it out. Completely relax your body here. If you want, you can move into Shavasana from here. For everyone else, I will guide you out of this position. So Bend your knees into your chest again. Place your hands right underneath your knees on top of your shins. And then bring your feet onto the mat underneath you. So you're back in a seated position. Come into easy pose or any comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your heart center. Nod your head towards your fingertips. Namaste.